Just as Cheyenne was about to go downstairs, Sasha grabbed her arm and stared intently at the reception desk. She followed her gaze and saw Glacio playing with the shoulder-length pink hair of a girl behind the counter. She smiled at him and giggled from time to time. He definitely seemed to be flirting with her. Sasha sighed and then spoke quietly to Cheyenne. That girl with pink hair again. She was there last night too. She gave us the room, for free as you know. And now you see the reason why. The world is crazy. He briefly flirts with a girl and gives her nice compliments, and suddenly we have a room in the best inn in this village. He only has to wink at women, and they fall in love with him. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? How can anyone fall in love with such a complete idiot? Above all, this girl is risking her job for him. If the innkeeper finds out that money is missing and the room hasn't been paid for, he'll definitely hold someone accountable. But that's not all. He does this to every woman and girl he thinks is old enough when he wants something. It's not right. He takes advantage of them, flirts with them, and then disappears, usually without saying a word. He never used to be like that. He was always friendly to everyone and gave more than he took. But for the past year, everything has changed. I've only seen him once since then, but he hasn't seen me. I watched him for 2 days and wondered whether to show myself and talk to him, but he always had women around him. Then I left and realized once again that I had been very wrong about him back then. Oh, I'm talking too much. I'm sure I'm making you really curious, but I just can't tell you what happened yet. It has a lot to do with him and, well, did Glacio ever tell you his story? While Sasha was talking, Cheyenne had often shaken her head at the healer. She thought what he did to the girls was unfair and wrong. She thought for a moment and replied, He only said that about a year ago the knights killed his family, burned down his house, and chased him out of town. I don't know for sure which town, but I'm pretty sure he lived somewhere in Luminastrel. I guess he lived in Exidoma Magna, but that's all he said about himself. Sasha nodded and said something barely audible. So he only told her half the truth. Huh. But there's no other way, really. Cheyenne had understood the words because she could hear quite well, but she asked again anyway, hoping the young woman would tell her more. What did you say? But the opposite was the case, because Sasha gave the girl no further information. Oh, nothing at all. Come on, let's finally go and find your friend. I don't want to watch those two down there any longer, otherwise I'll go crazy. With that, she went down the stairs and left Cheyenne standing there. The girl ran after her, followed by Adocaz, but Sasha's behavior was strange. What's going on? She's hiding something from me. What did she mean by half the truth? Is it to believe that everyone has secrets from me? First Glacio, then Sasha, and when I think about it more closely, my grandparents must have known more too. The way they reacted to the night, I just never noticed it before. That Anthropax surely knows more about me too, otherwise he wouldn't have me followed. And Xaver, his behavior when we fled. We could have shaken off the nights together. He didn't have to take my crystal. But there's nothing to know about me that I don't already know myself. That's illogical. I must know everything about myself, mustn't I? After all, it's my life. I want to know once and for all what everyone is hiding from me. When Cheyenne caught up with Sasha, she was already standing outside the inn, looking around. The girl spoke to her directly. Sasha, you're hiding something from me, aren't you? Glacio does that too, but he's so stubborn and won't say anything, and he thinks I'm too stupid to realize that he's keeping things from me. He always avoids me when I ask him about it. Please don't be like that too. The young woman looked down at the floor, looking upset, and said nothing. Then she looked at Cheyenne sympathetically and gave her an answer. Why would I have to hide something from you? I've only known you for a few hours. Why would I know anything about you that you imagine I do? I know that idiot sometimes speaks in riddles and stuff, but there's nothing, okay? Um, well, now that we're here, what does your friend look like? Cheyenne sighed deeply. She wouldn't find out what's going on from Sasha either. She gave up and described Xaver. He has short blonde hair, is half a head taller than me, has green eyes and a slim build. And if you see a horse that looks like the knight's special horses, but with a long mane and pink streaks in it, similar to Adocaz and Tene, we're definitely near Xaver. That would be his mare Shiva. Sasha nodded and confirmed that she understood. All right, let's get going then. Saraley was a village straight out of a picture book. It was quite large, almost a town. The stone-paved ground was sandy and you could smell the sea. Seagulls circled above the pale-colored houses with red roofs, and Saraley was adorned with colorful flowers and green trees. Behind the village was a beach that the inhabitants called Beach of Light, and behind that was the sea. The inhabitants of Saraley seemed to have no problem with the word light. They had no inhibitions about saying it, and some could even be heard talking enthusiastically about it as they passed by. There was silence for a while. Cheyenne searched every alley and corner of the village for Xaver, but she couldn't find him. She was about to give up and hung her head. By now she didn't care what Sasha or anyone else was hiding from her. She just wanted to find her best friend and know he was safe. But her wish didn't seem to be coming true, and she shared her doubts with her new acquaintance. What if they caught and killed him after all? If I never see him again? He's not here. We've searched almost everywhere. Sasha encouraged her. Don't give up now, dear. We'll find him somehow. Ever heard of Hope Dies Last? We haven't even searched the whole village yet. Come on, we're not giving up now, okay? She really is an optimist, but at least she's helping me with the search, and she's right. Giving up is the last thing I'm going to do now. Just as she lifted her head again to look ahead, Cheyenne bumped into someone. Startled, she took a step back and apologized. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It wasn't on purpose. Sorry. Standing in front of the girl was a man who was about a head taller than she was. He wore glasses with blue-tinted lenses, had sea-blue hair combed back in a strange way, with orange strands that seemed to start in the middle of his head and hang down at the sides behind his ears. However, the strands looked very strange, as if they weren't hair at all, but something else that just looked very similar. Almost a little like Adocaz and Tene, but Cheyenne suspected that he had simply used too much hair gel on his hair. The man was quite muscular, and the girl estimated him to be about 30 years old. He was wearing a long dark brown coat, which was very unusual for this time of year. For some reason his aura made Cheyenne shudder. He seemed almost creepy to her, and her heart began to beat faster. Finally he accepted her apology, and spoke in a powerful but not angry voice. "It's all right, child. But in future you should keep your eyes open, and watch where you're going. What beautiful hair you have, black as night and green as the color of hope, and your eyes are as red as the color of love, or blood and death." Without saying goodbye, the man walked past Cheyenne and disappeared into a side street. Sasha was the first to find her voice again. Yeah, okay, what a strange fella. The way he stared at you. And where did he come from anyway? From that street? Well, even if he did, he could have just as easily avoided you. How strange. He must have been crazy. Did you see his hair? Cheyenne didn't find it as funny as her companion. The man's last sentence gave her pause. She replied to Sasha. Yeah, the guy was strange, but I'm more concerned about what he said than how he looked. The man was almost creepy. The girl shuddered. Adocaz barked softly, as if he shared his owner's opinion, and then had to sneeze. Cheyenne and the young woman had to grin, and quickly forgot about the strange man. Then Sasha brought up a more important topic. So, listen, Cheyenne. I told you I needed to talk to you about something concerning your future. I might know how we can protect you from the knights. Glacio told me he had already told you about the Shadow Servants, didn't he? They are the arch-enemies of the knights, and I can well imagine that they would protect you and take you in as one of their own. The tin cans are desperate to get their hands on you, so it looks like it would be a win-win situation for both you and the Shadow Servants. If the knights want to kill you, they see you as an enemy, but in this case you would actually be the opposite for the freedom fighters, namely an ally. And if you join them, the knights won't get you, and you'll have the protection of the Shadow Servants. That's an advantage for both sides. So, the shadow servants might not be able to guarantee your safety, but then again, who can? Still, it's better than nothing. I could take you to one of their strongholds, and that way we could stay together longer. I'm really happy to have finally found a friend, so I want to be with you. I'll even volunteer to protect you. Cheyenne was surprised. She talks as if she was one of the shadow servants herself. But she's right, it would be a win for me and these freedom fighters. This idea is actually really good. I hate the knights, so why shouldn't I side with their enemies? Yes, that's what I'll do. Sasha already considers me a friend. How nice. Then I'll do that too from now on. The girl replied to her new friend. You're right. I agree and want to join the shadow servants. Do you have a specific task that you have to do as a member? Sasha, are you one of them? You just sounded like you knew quite a lot about them. The young woman grinned and replied. Yes, that's right. I'm on their side. The knights. She looked around before continuing, but no one was nearby, so she went on. Are a nuisance. They're all dimwits with pea brains. If they keep this up, the world will die before our eyes. It's already so bad. But I think it's great that you've made this decision. It's really better this way, believe me. Oh, yes, exactly. You asked what you have to do. Well, since the knights want you so badly, I think you'll be accepted just like that. What you do after that is up to you. But if there's a war, you may have to take part in it. You have a bow, don't you? If you're good with it, you'll fight in the background with the other archers. But you don't need to worry too much about that. They'll only call up members who are near the place where the war is taking place. We're miles away from those places here. But actually, I doubt that they would expose you to such a battle, because the knight's goal seems to be your death, and you could die in the war. We have to make the tin can's targets unreachable. Cheyenne seemed to have made the right decision, and she found it amazing that her friend was one of the shadow servants. She was curious and wanted to know what Sasha's job was. That sounds great. Thank you for making this suggestion. What do you actually do for the shadow servants? Sasha proudly gave the girl an answer. I'm a field spy. It's the best job you can be assigned. All I have to do is travel around the country and listen to what people are saying. I have to find out as much as possible about the knights and their plans and pass on information to my assigned clan. This information is then forwarded to the Imperator, the boss of the Shadow Clan, who then passes it on to the Superator, the boss of all Shadow clans on the 5 continents, each of which has at least one clan. The Superator then decides how we should proceed and act. So he is the boss of the Emperors who give us Shadow Servants our tasks. That sounds very confusing at first, doesn't it? But Cheyenne thought she understood and gave Sasha a summary of what she just had tried to explain. No, I don't find it confusing at all. So, the Shadow Servants are us, the members, who all have tasks. I just count myself among them now. We are assigned to a clan that is located near us. There is at least one clan per continent, and they are led by imperators. The great leader of the Shadow Servants and commander of the Emperors is the Superator. Have I understood that correctly? It's not that difficult to understand. Sasha nodded and smiled. Yes, exactly. Cheyenne, you've understood. I'm proud of you. You've grasped what I've explained. Most people always find my explanations very complicated. All right. I think we've searched all of Saraley now, and your friend doesn't seem to be here yet. Let's go back to the inn. I want to rub it in Glacio's face that I was able to persuade you, because he thought you would be against it, since you didn't want to put anyone else in danger because of you. But don't worry, the Shadow Servants can take good care of themselves. Come on, let's go back. Sasha always managed to make Cheyenne feel better no matter what. She was happy to have such a good friend now. So the girl, the young woman, and Adocaz went back to the inn.